Hello friends, in the construction safety, we have to discuss about the specific guidelines for the specific works, because generally we all know about the construction safety for the building construction, road construction, then tower construction or bridge construction, etc. But there are certain areas where we have to check the special precautionary measures, because as the standards or the specific guidelines are not available for all the type of work, and that is why in this session we are going to focus on the specific work, that is called as special work. So before the precautionary measure, we must understand what exactly this special work is and what are the points or the processes are involved under this special work. Especially, we must identify the hazards involved under this special work, and then we can go for the precautionary measures. So let us discuss first, that is for the railways. So in the railways, it is a major sector in India especially. So under that, railway tracks or the traditional or conventional railway tracks is one of the major concern, because as it is installed on the thousands of kilometers, we have to take care about all these railway tracks, and for that purpose we must know what exactly and how it is to be installed, what is the process, and then we have to discuss about the precautionary measures. So the track on a railway or the railroad, also known as the permanent way, is the structure consisting of the rails, fasteners, railroad ties or sleepers, that is the British English, that is normally it is commonly called as sleepers, and ballast or the slab track plus the underlying subgrade. So these are the different components under this railway track. So from the picture also you can understand what exactly this structure is. So this is the subsoil or the natural ground on the bottom side. Then on the upper side, the next layer is subgrade. Then the next one is blanket, or it is additional subgrade. Then ballast and subballast, and then it is sleeper. So main the railroad ties, that is the sleeper part, is on the upper side, and then we can install the rails. So this is the main structure or the different layers which are involved under these railway tracks. So this structure is called as track structure or railway track structure. It is also called as permanent way. And the bottom part mainly including the soil, subgrade, and the blanketing part is called as foundation or the formation. So this is the conventional or the traditional way of the railway track. So normally on these tracks, the electric trains or the electric trams run, and these are equipped with an electrical or electrification systems. So normally in India, whatever we use, these electric trains are having the overhead electrical power lines, and sometimes it is additional electrified rail. So overhead lines and the electric base railways are common in India, and for that purpose we have designed this railway track for that purpose. So the maintenance and repairing and testing, observing of all these railway tracks is the major concern as far as the safety is concerned. Because if you read, if you observe, many of the accidents which are happen with reference to the railways is related to the railway tracks only. So what are the elements or the parameters in which we have to observe, we have to take care about these railway tracks. So the first one is the section to railway track and the foundation showing the ballast and formation layers. So these layers are intentionally slightly sloped, having a specific slope to avoid the rainwater, to avoid the drainage, or to give the path, a particular path for the drainage line also. Sometimes it is also included a rubber matting systems, that is to improve the drainage as well as to dampen the sound and vibration. So as we know that rubber is having the characteristics to absorb the vibrations, so to absorb the sound also, the rubber matting system is useful. But it is an optional one. If it is feasible and affordable for that department, for that region, then only we can go for this rubber matting systems. So normally if you maintain that particular slope, then we can use this slope for the drainage purpose. With notwithstanding the modern technical developments and the overwhelming the dominant track form worldwide consist of the flat bottom steel rails. So now this traditional system is replaced by the flat bottom steel rails, and nowadays we are observing the pre-stressed concrete sleepers. So these are the concrete sleepers in which the concrete as well as the metals are utilized, but they are heavy. That is why nowadays we are using the cranes and some other system to lift these pre-stressed concrete sleepers and to install these concrete sleepers. Initially, it was handled by the persons, and that is why the number of workers requirement is more while installing these concrete sleepers. Then most railroads with heavy traffic utilize continuously welded rails supported by the sleepers and which are attached via base plates, so that spread the load. So we have to spread the load of this rail while it is running on this railway track. So for that purpose, we can also use a plastic or rubber pad, which is usually placed between this rail and the tie plate. So where the concrete sleepers are used. So our main intention is to divide the load. Main intention is to have the uniform load on the total railway track and without any cracks or the damage to that particular part. And that is why we are going to use this pre-stressed concrete sleeper for all the railway tracks nowadays. So this rail is usually held down to the sleeper with resilient fastenings, although cut spikes are widely used in the North American practices. But in India, we are using still the British conventional methods and their structure and the parts. And sometimes the jointed rails were used at first because contemporary technology did not offer any alternative. So jointed rail was mainly utilized by these railway departments. However, the intrinsic weakness in registering these vertical loading results in the ballast becoming depressed and a heavy maintenance workload is imposed. So due to this jointed rail technique, we have to face the maintenance problems, and this maintenance workload is heavy. So it is not acceptable as far as the maintenance workload is concerned, but its initial investment is less. The joints are also needed to be lubricated. That is another issue with the jointed rails. So lubrication is needed, and the wearing of the fish plate. That is another part. That is the joint bars is called as fish plate. So wearing of that fish plate is another issue. Mating surfaces needed to be rectified by the shimmy. So for this reason, jointed track is not financially appropriate for the heavily operated railroads. So if you go for the jointed rails, when you are having less initial investment, but you can bear the maintenance cost, then you can prefer the jointed rails. If you don't want to prefer the heavy maintenance cost, lubrication cost, or the substitution replacement of the parts, then we are not going for the jointed rails techniques. So for that purpose, some timber sleepers are also available. So many departments are using these timber sleepers also and are often treated with the creosote, copper chrome arsenate, or other wood preservatives. So these pre-stressed concrete sleepers are often used where timber is scarce and where tonnage or speeds are high. So when the tonnage is more, the weight is more, the speeds are high, normally more than 100 km/h, then we have to use pre-stressed concrete sleepers only. If the regions where the timbers are available, the tonnage is less and the speeds of the trains are less, then you can prefer the timber sleepers only. In some of the cases, we are going to use the steel instead of concrete sleepers also. So that depends again on the conditions. The track ballast is customarily crushed stone, and the purpose of this is to support the sleepers. So many students are always asking why these stones are spread all over the track. So the main thing is this crushed stone is nothing but the track ballast. So the main function of this crushed stone or the track ballast is to support the sleepers. So that sleepers may be the steel sleeper, that sleepers may be a timber sleepers, or that may be a pre-stressed concrete sleepers. So for supporting these structures of sleepers, we have to use this crushed stone, and it allows some adjustment of their position also. So while allowing the free drainage systems, for allowing the adjustment, for giving the flexibility to the sleepers, we have to use this track ballast. Now there is another concept like ballast-less tracks also. So a disadvantage of the traditional track structure is the heavy maintenance. So due to this heavy maintenance, regular maintenance, the cost is more, and particularly surfacing or tamping and lining to the restored the desired track geometry and smoothness of the vehicle running. So the weakness of the subgrade and the drainage deficiencies, etc., are the different issues related to the traditional structure, that is traditional track structure. However, the ballastless track has a high initial cost. Now, if you go for the ballastless track, the issue is with the initial investment. So the initial investment is high, but the maintenance is less. So you have to compare and check whether you are going to afford the high initial cost or you are going to afford the maintenance cost. So if you are going to afford the high initial cost, then you can go for the ballastless track. So in the case of these existing railroads, and the upgrade to such requires closure of the route for a long period. So for the longer period, you can go for this ballastless tracks. So its whole life cost can be lower because of the reduction in the maintenance. So it is considered for new, very high speed or very high loading roads. So it is suitable for the very high speed trains and for the high loading routes also. That is, the tonnage is more. Then also you can use this ballastless tracks. Then there is another concept that is called as continuous longitudinally supported track. So early railways experimented this track, that is in which the railway has supported along the length. So rail was supported along the length, that is called as longitudinal. Longitudinal means along the length. Then later it can be converted into the Balfour Beatty's embedded slab track, which uses a rounded rectangular rail profile. So the previous one is continuous bearing rail track, that is along the length was. Now it is going to convert into the rounded rectangular rail embedded in a sleeve form concrete based. So it is the development which is in the 2000s. So previous one was continuous bearing rail track was in the 1840s. And then embedded rail structure is also there. So it is used in the Netherlands since 1976. It is used initially conventional UIC 54 rail, and then later on some mushroom shape SF42 rail profile, and then it is light rail using a rail supported in an asphalt concrete filled steel trough. So these are the different developments in the track, that is the structure of track. So asphalt means that is nothing but the coal tar. So we can use this asphalt for the rigid or the concrete construction. So especially it is used for the roads, but it was used for the rail track also. So from this structure, that is called as special work in the railway track, you can understand the precautionary measures maybe. The mainly the mechanical hazards are there. You have to check each and every fittings, each and every nut bolts, each and every metal parts. We have to check the corrosion because there may be a chances of corrosion if you are using the metal parts, and which can be exposed to the air. Then we have to take care about the cracks. Then we have to take care about the changes or the shifting of some of the tracks in also, but that we have to check. Then we have to also check about the tonnage as well as the speed of the train, and accordingly we have to substitute or repair or maintain that tracks. So nowadays we are using the pre-stressed concrete tracks, and that is why we can go for the high speed as well as the higher tonnage capacity of these trains. So these precautionary measures can avoid the incidences or accidents. So accident may be in the form of slippage, that may be in the form of cracks on the rail tracks due to the corrosion, that may be the cracks of the nuts and bolts or some fitting parts due to the high tonnage capacity, as well as due to the frictions and the high speed of the trains. So this is all about the railway tracks, which is called as special work under the construction safety. Thank you.